Yeah, welcome back to my channel. If today is your first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button so you can get instantly notified whenever I upload a new video here. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about how to write a formal letter of not less than 300 words as required in your WASSCE exam. A formal letter is also called a business letter. It is a type of letter written to people in official positions like your school principal, your subject teacher, your state governor, your country's president or prime minister. It is written for official matters. A formal letter must have the following 10 components to be considered a good formal letter. Number 1 is the writer's address, that is your own address, followed by the date, official position and address of the receiver, the salutation, the subject heading or title, the body of the letter, the complimentary close or subscription, the writer's signature, the writer's full name, the writer's official position, if any. Now let's learn about those components, where they appear in the letter and their rules. The first one is the writer's address. The writer's address. The writer's address is the address of the person writing the letter. That is your own address as the person writing the letter. It should appear at the top right hand corner of the page. Top right hand corner of the page. And the date should appear 2 lines below the address. That means you should skip 1 line after the address and write the date on the following line. This is because the date is not part of the address, though the two of them appear at the same corner of the page. The writer's address in a formal letter is written in block format. That is to say, the writer's address must be on a straight line, on a straight vertical line. The punctuation pattern is either open or close, but you must be consistent with one. If you choose the open punctuation pattern, that means you should not punctuate any line of the address. You should not punctuate any line of the address. However, the PO box or PMB must be punctuated in the address in any kind of letter. Let's look at an example. Girls Model Secondary School, PMB 20, Ovim, Abia State, Nigeria. Abia State. As you can see on the screen, I've used the open pattern because I not punctuate any line of the address except the PMB. And I already told you that you should punctuate the PMB and the PO box in any kind of letter. So this is an example of the open pattern. Don't punctuate any line of the address. Then, the closed punctuation pattern requires that you punctuate every line of the address, as in the following example. Girls Model Secondary School, comma, PMB 20, comma, Ovim, comma, Isukwata LGA, comma, Abia State, full stop. Like I said, the date should be written 2 lines below the address because it's not part of the address. Here are 4 most acceptable formats for writing the date in a formal letter. The first one is 10th July, 2020. July 10th, 2020. 10 July 2020. July 10, 2020. So you can use this format to write the dates in your formal letter. Please note that the commas come after the second word in the date. After the second word in the date, that's where you put the comma. And you should add full stop at the end of the date if you are using the closed punctuation pattern. And if you are using the open punctuation pattern, do not add full stop at the end of the date. The next part of formal letter is the official position and address of the receiver. The official position and address of the receiver. The official position of the receiver, which could be the principal, the manager, the governor, the chancellor, etc., and the official address of the receiver should appear close to the left-hand margin, starting from the next line after the date. Close to the left-hand margin, starting from the next line after the date. Let's look at this example. The principal, Girls Model Secondary School, Ovim, always remember to maintain one punctuation pattern. If the writer's address, that's your own address, is not punctuated, do not punctuate the receiver's address. If the writer's address is punctuated, then you should punctuate the receiver's address as well. The next part of a formal letter is the salutation. The salutation of a formal letter is usually Dear Sir or Dear Ma. It is written close to the left-hand side of the margin, 2 lines below the receiver's address. That means you should skip 1 line after the address, that is after the receiver's address, before writing the salutation. And always mark off your salutation with a comma. Always mark off your salutation with a comma. For example, Dear Sir, you see I marked it off with a comma. Dear Madam, it's marked off with a comma. And also notice that Dear starts with a capital letter and Sir starts with a capital letter too. The next part of a formal letter is the subject heading. The subject heading, that is the topic or the title of the letter, what the letter is all about, and this comes in between the salutation and the first paragraph of the letter. While writing the subheading, if you write everything in capital letters, then do not underline. But if you write in small letters, please do underline. Please note that when writing the subheading or the title of the letter in small letters, the content words, that is the words that belong to the major parts of speech, like the nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, should start with a capital letter. And the grammatical words, that is words that belong to the minor parts of speech, like the conjunctions, the prepositions, the articles as well, should start with a small letter. Let's look at an example. The dangers of illegal felling of trees in the country. The dangers of illegal felling of trees in the country. You can see that the content words, that is words that belong to the major parts of speech, are started with capital letters, and the grammatical words, words that belong to minor parts of speech, are started with small letters. The first word in this title is the, which belongs to the minor part of speech, but it started with a capital letter because it's the first word in this title. You remember, you always start a sentence with a capital letter. The next part of a formal letter after the title is the body. Like in every other type of essay, the body is grouped in paragraphs, and the first paragraph should be the introduction, and the last paragraph of a formal letter should be the conclusion. The first paragraph, which is also known as the opening paragraph, together with the title of the letter, explains why you are writing the letter. If you are writing a formal letter to thank someone, maybe the principal of your school, for equipping the laboratory, you can start the first paragraph this way. This is to thank you for your good gestures in equipping the laboratory in our school, or thank you for your good gesture in equipping the only laboratory that the school has. The first paragraph should be simple and straight to the point. It should be simple and straight to the point. If the letter is about explaining an activity, reporting an event, or describing a situation, then you can start your first paragraph this way, any of these ways rather. I am writing to explain, dash, dash, dash. I write to explain. I write to report, or I am writing to report. So this is the first sentence you should write if you are actually writing a letter that is all about explaining a situation or reporting an event. Let's take an example from WASSCE 2018. The candidates were asked to write on the effect of illegal felling of trees and ways to remedy it. This topic, for example, has 2 parts: First is the effect of felling of trees, effect of illegal felling of trees, and the second part is the ways to remedy it. When writing on a topic like this, your opening paragraph could be written this way: I am writing to explain the hazardous effects of illegal felling of trees in our society, the consequences, and the possible ways we can remedy the situation. Remember, the first paragraph should tell the reader what to expect in the rest of the letter, and always remember to keep it simple and straight to the point. Now let's look at the next part of a formal letter, which is the main body of the letter. This is the part that will discuss what has been hinted in the opening paragraph and in the title or subheading of the letter. The main body of the letter should be divided into short paragraphs, and each should deal with a single unit or aspect of the subject matter. Each paragraph should have a topic sentence. A topic sentence is that sentence that expresses the controlling idea or the main point of the paragraph. For example, if we are writing about the negative effect of illegal felling of trees, and one of the points we want to make is that it can result to deforestation, our topic sentence could be something like this: deforestation is one of the hazardous effects that illegal felling of trees could result in our society. That can serve as a topic sentence. Then you will have to explain in the other sentences of the paragraph how it will lead to deforestation and the effect of deforestation to the society. In writing the main body of a formal letter, always remember to link the paragraphs with transitional expressions like furthermore, secondly, again, similarly, however, etc. The next important part of a formal letter is the final paragraph. A special final paragraph is often considered necessary so as to prevent abrupt ending. Here are some examples of how you can write the final paragraph of a formal letter, but it all depends on what the letter is all about. If it's a letter that demands a reply, your final paragraph could be written like this: please let me have a reply. I would be glad to have an answer in time. Please let me know what to think. But if it's a letter that requires the receiver to take some actions, you can say, I shall be grateful if you would. Then you add what you will be grateful for. That is what you have asked for in the letter. For example, the last paragraph of our letter on illegal felling of trees could be something like this: I shall be grateful if you will give the matter the urgent attention it requires. Your final paragraph could simply be thank you or thank you very much indeed. You could also write, I am looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to hearing from you, or I look forward to hearing from you. That is, if you would love the recipient of your letter to get back to you. The next part of a formal letter is the complementary closing. The complementary closing, which is written as yours faithfully. Yours faithfully. Always mark off the complementary closing with a comma. You should also notice that the only capital letter is the Y in yours. The complementary closing is written close to the right-hand side of the margin, 2 lines below the body of the letter. That means you should skip 1 line after the body of the letter before writing the complementary closing. The complementary closing is followed by the signature and the full name, the full official name of the writer. Here is an example of a complementary closing. Yours faithfully, comma, John Kofi. The space between yours faithfully and John Kofi is where you will append your signature. So that is it about formal letters. And this is where we will end today's lesson. Please remember that a formal letter is expected to be short and simple So to meet the required 300 words in WASSCE, you should make more points in the body of the letter. That is to say, you should develop your points in at least 5 to 6 paragraphs. If you are writing on the example topic of this lesson, you can use 4 paragraphs to write on the effect of illegal felling of trees and 2 paragraphs to write on the remedy. 300 words is not much before you develop 5 to 6 paragraphs. You'll be getting more than the 300 required words. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you understood today's lesson, and if you have questions, let me know at the comment section. I'll be reading all your comments and I'll be answering all your questions. Please do click on the subscribe button to help promote this video on YouTube and to get you notified whenever I upload a new video on this channel. Please subscribe. If you haven't watched the video on how to write a good essay, click on the link that I'll be leaving at the description box. Thank you very much. See you next week in another video.